or it's already in progress. Okay, hey everybody, it is Taco Tuesday. Tonight is October 19th, and we are talking about stress management. Oh, thank you for spotlighting me, Hannah, or someone. So we're going to do this a little different tonight. We are going to make this interactive. So I want to know, and I can't see you all now, so you're going to have to use the chat. I want to know who feels stressed. I'll flip through you guys at the top. Raise your hand if you're stressed, your literal hand. Okay, it's only like, well, I can't. I'm going to just guess all of you with your screens off or stressed. That's why you have your screens off, I'm going to guess. All right. So life, business, no, in any kind, are you stressed at all? Like, you know, overall, are you stressed? All right. So tonight we're talking about stress management. And if we're honest, most of us have stress in our life. Tell me in the chat, what is stressful to you right now? Oh, good night, sweet girl. Tell me in the chat, what is stressful to you right now? Just one thing that is causing you stress. My kids. How busy of a schedule I have. Work, life, work, school, life in general, life. What about life is stressful? I want to know. My back, hip pain. Oh yeah. Teenage and health. Yep. Family and medical situations. My husband lost his job, getting ready to PCS. For those of you non-military people, that means move. Cancer markers, that's stressful. Rachel says humans. Work in financial, trying to align my printer. That's always, aligning those circle labels is super stressful to me. Finances, feeling like I can't do it, doing 2 jobs at once. Okay. Adult kids. Yeah. Okay. So if you guys are parents of littles, nobody tells you this is the easy stage. This is preparing you for when you're parents of non-littles. All right. So we all have a lot of stress in our life. Upcoming wedding. Yep. Lots and lots and lots of stress. So here's the thing. There's 4 kinds of stress, and we're going to kind of talk about them tonight a little bit. You all probably experience different kinds of them at different times. Stress is normal. There is quite honestly nothing you can do to avoid stress. What you can do is keep yourself from burning out. Okay. Burnout is stress that gets out of control and you can't come back from it. Burnout is real. It's a real thing. And we don't want any of you to reach that point. And so we're going to talk just a little bit about stress, give you some techniques and things you can do to alleviate some stress, maybe give you a little bit of a different perspective on stress and that kind of thing. But I'm going to need you in the chat. Okay. 4 kinds of stress. Time can be a stress. Usually poor time management, right? Who struggles with time management? Tell me in the chat if you struggle with time management. Me, horrible. Okay. There are some of you that struggle with time management. Yep. All right. I'm a procrastinator. Yep. All right. So here's the deal. Time management is the kind of stress you actually have some control over. And the reality of time management is you're never going to be able to do all the things. It's learning to do the things that are most important. We'll talk a little bit about that. There is a fantastic book, and I've done a whole bunch of, I've probably done a dozen or more trainings on it. Brian Tracy, it's either Eat That Frog or Eat Your Frog. I would say the wrong one, is a fantastic book on time management. So I don't know how to say no. Oh, we're going to talk about that one too. The second type of stress is anticipatory stress. Okay, so you are literally anticipating something that's going to happen, an upcoming thing. How many of you guys are stressed about something that's going to happen in the future? Maybe this week, next month. Always worried about something that hasn't happened. Yep. All right. So that one, I'm going to tell you, if you did not do our book club, the 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins, fantastic resource to help you with anticipatory stress, but we're going to give you some coping mechanisms as well tonight for that. This third type of stress is situational stress. And usually that's just when you're in a scary situation, and it could even be an emergency. That's something you've just got to face when it happens, and use kind of the examples that we're going to give you to step down from it when it happens. Because it's sudden, you don't have a lot of warning. Your coping mechanisms are what's going to help you with that. And then the fourth one is encounter stress. And usually that's stress about people or a situation. So would anyone say they're an introvert or an introverted extrovert? Yep. Yeah. So that kind of stress, encounter stress, really comes down to setting some boundaries, being aware of, what's going on with you. And sometimes not putting yourself in those situations that cause you stress or pushing yourself beyond them. So, and I want you to know that it is okay to set boundaries. It is 100% okay to set boundaries, and it's okay to say no. Okay. So stress can have a really significant effect on your body. And it's something that I've thought quite a bit about the past month since Steve had his heart attack. Because one of the things they say to do is reduce stress, reduce stress, reduce stress, reduce stress, right? And I don't think people realize how impactful stress can be to your health. So tell me in the chat, what are some symptoms that you think manifest from stress? Like acne, yep. That's a good one. Weight gain, heart palpitations, yep. Upset stomach, high blood pressure, sleepiness, insomnia, sleepiness, not sleeping. I feel like a lot of you might be dealing with a not sleeping one right now. Constant irritability, agitation, anxiety. Yep, you guys have got it, right? Stress can cause all sorts of issues. And chronic stress can really lead to long-term health issues. Difficulty sleeping, weight gain or weight loss, stomach pain, irritability, teeth grinding, panic attacks, headaches, difficulty concentrating, sweaty hands or feet, heartburn, excessive sleep, social isolation, fatigue, nausea, feeling overwhelmed, and even obsessive compulsive habits, right? Binge eating, yeah, all of it. See, it's really, really significant, the impact that stress can have on your health. In fact, I'm going to give you some kind of scary statistics. Stress has been referred to as a silent killer, as it causes heart disease, high blood pressure, chest pain, and irregular heartbeat. Did you know that after you encounter a really stressful event in your life, about 3 months later, sometimes you experience some hair loss, and that's actually from the stress you went through 3 months prior? It could be health stress. It could be significant loss in your life. Anything like that can cause actually you to have that kind of hair loss. Stress accounts for 30% of infertility problems. That's a large number of infertility problems. Stress worsens acne, like you guys nailed that one, causes weight gain. Chronic stress in kids can impact growth. Stress increases the likelihood of developing blood clots. Chronic stress can place pressure on and cause damage to the arteries and organs. And stress is also responsible for altering our blood sugar levels, which can lead to fatigue, hyperglycemia, mood swings, and metabolic syndrome. Did you also know that simply by laughing, you can lower your stress and release cortisol, epinephrine, and adrenaline? So now we're going to play a fun game. Hannah's going to tell us a joke. She doesn't know this. And everyone is going to laugh because you're going to lower your stress. Hannah, tell us a funny joke.
Oh my goodness. A funny joke?
Tell us a joke. Make us laugh.
I have to I'm going to Google one.
Yeah, see, I know I totally put you on the spot. Or you know what? Google your own name and look at the images. Oh. You will giggle out loud if you do that. Do that for 1 minute and come right back. Google your own name and then click on images and look at what comes up. It's pretty entertaining. We did that on Leaders Lounge last night. Tell me when you're done. I need to see you all laughing. Do it again. If you did it yesterday, do it again. All right.
I only got Catalina Island, so.
You did. You don't look like Catalina Island. I'll just tell you that. So I want to know what you do now. So we've identified there's different kinds of stress. It's really bad for you. It's hurtful for you. Oh, that's nice. Love it. All right. So we've talked about different kinds of stress. We've talked about how bad it is for you physically. And it's equally as bad for you emotionally, as you know, and it can strain relationships. It can pretty much destroy your life if you let it. So what are some strategies you all use to manage your stress? Because we all do different things. Let me back that up. What are some healthy strategies you use to reduce your stress? Drop them in the chat and tell me. Let's see. Books and bubble bath, Peloton, meditation, going outside, sitting by the river, working in my yard, reaching out to my support system, morning walk, snuggle with my cat, wine, books, sleep, playing. Yep, meds. Okay, see, that's not bad either. Hotel by myself for a few nights with no humans. Oh, that's magical. Enjoying the hot tub, talking to friends, Captain Morgan. Okay, so there's lots of different things you can do for stress. Some healthy, some not so healthy. Some that everyone can do, some that everyone can't do, right? You might not all have the ability to leave your family and go to a hotel regularly for a couple nights. Although that does sound dreamy to me, I'll be honest. Mountains, yeah, detaching, all that kind of thing. All right, so I'm going to just give you some ideas of things that everyone can do. You know, meditation, deep breathing, really important. There are a million free apps out there. Noemi reminded me, or someone reminded me, that I can get yoga and meditation on the Peloton app. Breathe deeply. Sometimes just a little mental reset is enough. Sometimes we're stressed because our goals are too big. You guys, you can't accomplish everything. So you got to take a look at your to-do list and accept the fact that you're only going to get to the most important things. Label your things A, B, C, D, and E. A is the most important, B is the next, C is the next, D and E, okay? D are things that you're going to delegate, E are things you're going to get rid of. All right, and then you're going to start with your A things. You're never going to get through all the things on your list. It'll stress you out. Take a break. Just unwind, detach, separate, take a break. My mom, when I was growing up, would say, I love you, when my brother and I would fight. I love you always, but I don't like you too right now, and I'm going to take a walk. I'll be back. And that was her way of detaching when we were just really going at it. And she would come back, and we were sometimes still fighting, but she would be in a better place, right? It's okay to detach and take a walk. Take small breaks, get outside, turn off your screens. Often our stress levels go up because we are so attached to electronics. When was the last time you did a 24-hour hiatus with no electronics? You put the screens down. Has anyone done that? Never, never, never. Right. Oh, there's a cool app called, hold on, Metatopia. Oh, Vanessa, I gotta check that out. Never. Would it kill you to turn off the electronics? No. I can tell you it will take you 23 out of those 24 hours to relax yourself enough where you realize you're not missing it. But I promise you, you could do it. Ooh, Brooke does it every Sunday. Jan does it when she's camping. Melanie did it last year for spring break for a week. Yes. Yeah. It's really a fantastic thing. So Jenny says, especially selling Scentsy, I feel like I needed to be connected all the time. So let's talk about that for a minute. Do you have an expectation that if you place I'm just going to pick another company. If you place a Pampered Chef order, do you have an anticipation that your consultant is available Sunday at 3 p.m. or Monday at 2 a.m.? Or, I mean, it's okay to have business hours. It's okay to put your phone down. It's okay to take a break. If you are working and available 24/7, you're setting the expectation with those customers who might want to join your team at some point, that to be successful, you have to work 24/7. And that's absolutely not the case. I don't have the expectation. I don't live by a 24-hour target. I don't have the expectation that I can show up at my Target at 2 a.m. I know they're closed, and that's okay. There are very few wax emergencies, right? So it's okay to take a break, you guys. Let's see what else. I wish people would understand of me. So you know what? Here's the deal. You set the boundaries, though. People do understand that. You set the boundaries, and yeah, your website is always open. What happens if you never shut down and you never take a break is you will burn out. And this won't be fun anymore. And your customers will see it. Your team members will see it. And, you know, this is supposed to add value to your life and to your family, not detract from it. There is no one that sets an expectation that you work 24/7. In fact, I would say there's an overwhelming number of top leaders who take weekends off. Yep. So if you think we are setting the expectation with you all that you should work 24/7, I can promise you we're not. We front load our calendars. We work on a schedule, well, with the best that we can with the schedule, right? And we set some boundaries and some goals so that we can take the time off when we need it. All right. So stress balls are fantastic. Have you guys seen the Damn It dolls that you throw at the wall? My mom got me one of those years ago. They're fantastic. Stress balls, our Biddy Buddies are really, really great as stress balls. In fact, I actually even have people in that buy them for that purpose. Luke took the bat up to his room, the bat Biddy Buddy the other day up to his room to use as a stress ball. So use what you need to. Get outside, get off your screens. Pets, if you have a pet in your house, pets are great for stress reduction. A little bit of time with your little furry friend, or not furry friend, I guess, really does. It lowers your heart rate, it lowers your blood pressure. It's actually really good for you. Sleep. Who feels that they get enough sleep? Comment in the chat if you get enough sleep. I am more acutely aware now than I ever have been in my life of the importance of sleep. And that's really been instilled in me the last 4 weeks since Steve's heart attack. Listen to your bodies, get that sleep. Yeah, thanks to my melatonin muscle relaxers. Yep, not at all. I get 2 to 4 hours a night. Nope, I'm asleep for 2 to 4 hours. You all, your body can't heal and it can't reset, and you can't reduce that stress if you don't get enough sleep. 7 to 9 hours. Not everyone needs 7 to 9, I know, but make sure that you get as much uninterrupted sleep as possible. It's okay to ask for help. Someone said meds in here, right? It's okay if you are stressed. If any of my friends told me they had a heart condition, I would tell them to see a cardiologist. If they told me they'd broken their arm, I'd tell them to see an orthopedic. If they need to go talk to someone, there's nothing wrong with that. There is absolutely nothing wrong. If your stress is at a point that you need professional help, there's nothing wrong with that. Set boundaries. We talked a little bit about that. Set business hours if that works for you. Put your phone down. Don't answer things right away. No one ever died from wax and warmers. So don't be afraid to set some boundaries. Set them in your personal life too. If there are people that are chaotic and damaging to you personally, and you can't bless you can't move beyond that, then bless and release, right? That's okay. Journal. Does anyone journal? Someone told me a long time ago to type a note when I was really upset, type a note on really stressed and upset, type a note up to someone, like an email, and then hit the delete button and delete it all. But the actual action of writing it all will relieve a lot of that stress. So, and weigh up your options. Take a look at what your choices are. Sometimes we're stressed and it's situational stress, and we're stressed because we can't make decisions. Is anyone a poor decision maker in the group? Yes. Yep. Journaling makes me angry. Don't journal if it makes you angry. Let's see. Yes. All right. So if you have a hard time making a decision, take a piece of paper, pros and cons. This is the simplest thing, and literally list them out. It sounds stupid, but when you look at more pros, more cons, and you read them, or vice versa, it's so much easier to make a decision. I've got a sheet that I'll share with all the SSDs. Laminate it if you have struggled to make decisions, and start religiously using it, and then force yourself to make a decision. Weigh your options, make a decision. You know, music, a lot of people find music to be therapeutic and stress relieving. Some people like to paint or color, or, you know, that kind of thing. Exercise is a fantastic source of stress relief. Read, take a bath, and let yourself cry it out. There is nothing wrong with that either. Sometimes we just have to have a good cry and move on, right? I had this policy when Steve was a young Marine. I can handle pretty much any situation as long as I know what's come. It's what it is. Like, it's the unknown that I really struggle with. But I would give myself 48 hours when something happened that I didn't like Steve was deploying to Iraq or whatever. I would give myself 48 hours to be annoyed, ticked off, whatever. And then I sucked it up and dealt with whatever the situation was. Because there's no reason to live life angry, or otherwise you end up with life with regrets. So a couple other things that I think are really, really helpful when you're stressed, to write a note to yourself. Positive affirmations are incredible. You are what you believe. And so whatever that voice is telling you in your head is true. So you need to be feeding yourself positive self-talk all the time. And I know some people are like, oh, more growth mindset, positive self-talk. It really, really does work. So give it a shot. I've got some cards for that, and we'll share those resources as well. Your feelings are valid. You are allowed to say no. It's okay to ask for help. And one of the most important things, I think, is to be kind to yourself. When was the last time, I want to know in the chat, you gave yourself some grace and, gave yourself permission to move on from something you were ticked about? We're often fast to forgive someone else, but slow to forgive ourselves. And you don't need that kind of stress in your life. Give yourself some grace, forgive. Yeah, don't give all your grace to everyone else. Use some for yourself, and whatever the situation is, and just take a step and move forward. I use a gratitude journal. I think it's really helpful. Also, when I'm frustrated with someone, I write down 3 positive things about them before I talk to them about it or reply to them or whatever the case may be. It's hard to be quite as frustrated with someone when you've written down 3 nice things about them and everyone has something positive you can say something positive about everyone, even if you don't like them. Maybe you like the sweater they had on. Maybe they make great cheeseburgers, whatever. I don't know. Some different ways to be kind to yourself. I would love, love, love to hear what you do to be kind to yourself and what you do for self-care. And I know we have women and men on here, but women really struggle to be kind to ourselves and to spend that money and that time on ourselves, right? Don't use all that grace on other people. Don't break promises to yourself. and be kind to yourself and love yourself. It's okay to treat yourself every so often. It's okay to get outdoors by yourself. There's nothing wrong with taking a bath by yourself. I don't know about you, but when my kids were little, they would all walk by Steve and any other adults who were visiting so that they could come and ask me a question. I could be in the farthest part of the house and they would walk by every single person. I could be going to the bathroom inevitably, and they would come and ask me, and I'd be like, well, why didn't you ask your dad? He's in the kitchen, and you want a turkey sandwich from the refrigerator, and he's already in the kitchen, you know? Give yourself some time. Sit down, get up a little early if you have to, sit down, read a book, do a devotional, have some quiet time with a cup of coffee in the morning or tea in the evening or whatever it is. But no matter where you are in life, you still deserve some time for you. A couple other things that are easy to do. Celebrate your accomplishments. Work fast to celebrate the accomplishments of everyone else. When you celebrate those accomplishments of yourself, you do get those endorphins going, and you feel good. That reduces your stress, right? If you have read the 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins, I would recommend you read the High Five Habit. It's her new book, and it is fantastic. And part of it is based on celebrating yourself every day. Other ways you can be kind to yourself: do something you enjoy, volunteer, get involved with an organization. I was trying to find something earlier today that Steve and I could do to get involved in the community. He's not really excited, but I found a local distillery has a booze and booze cocktail event where you learn to make 3 spooky drinks. And it's this Thursday and next Thursday. And if he's not going, I'm still going, because it'll be fun and it'll get me out of the house and it'll be some me time, and I deserve it, quite honestly. Forgive yourself, all of those things. There are some grounding techniques and some coping mechanisms that you can use when you're in that stressful situation. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is Mel Robbins' tagline, but you can also use it as a grounding technique. 5 things you can see, 4 things you can feel, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. So when you're super stressed out and you're on the verge of absolutely losing it, and you just need to center yourself, ground yourself, refocus, reconnect to where you are in the moment by yourself, and not all of that stuff around you. You kind of need to put your blinders on like the racehorses do. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Think about 5 things you can see, 4 things you can feel, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. And it really, really does work. And then do a little deep breathing. Okay. And that's a really great way to ground yourself. As important as a to-do list is, and I'm a list maker, I'm a paper person, a what not to do list is equally as important. So if you start your day with a to-do list, I'm going to encourage you, and I'll share a resource, to write a few things not to do. Things I don't need to do today, you should put a couple things on there. Things that you were going to put on your to-do list, you need to move them to things you don't do. What is not my responsibility? There are things we think that we need to do and are our responsibility that quite honestly aren't. And what can I not control? We spend a lot of time, especially when it's encountering and stress, we spend a lot of time with that and anticipatory stress, worrying about the future, worrying about things that we can't control. And if you'll stop and you'll identify it, why am I so stressed? That, I don't have to get into that bathing suit until June, or I'm not traveling to see that family member until December, or it's only the 19th and I still have 12 days to reach my goal. When we focus in the present and not allow that stress of what we're aiming for to get in the way. If it's stressful and it's tearing you down, focus on what you can control today. Focus on what you should be working on today. And it'll make quite a bit of difference. All right. I would love to hear from you in the chat. Give me a couple of other ideas you have of how you deal with stress. The reality is you're not going to be able to get rid of stress, right? So we just have to learn to cope with it. I mean, perhaps you could become like a monk, or there are probably ways you could remove all stress, but realistically. Ooh, Billy put scripture on her mirror. I love it. Lisa put a bunch of Post-it notes in her bathroom with positive affirmations. Oh, I love that. So I'm seeing a lot of, I give all my grace to everyone else. This is hard for me. Thanks to therapy, I'm better at this. I do this often, breathe and move on. I don't give grace to myself, but I give a lot to others. Grab a Starbucks. I'll get a massage. Oh yeah, a massage, that's super relaxing. Long baths and a book. Watch a movie. Brooke says her husband takes the kids once a month out of the house for the entire day. Well, that's nice. Amy says self-care is taking the weekend off and watching football. Acupuncture. Oh, Krista, I love acupuncture. I had that for the first time on the first Alaskan cruise incentive trip. I love, love, love acupuncture. I cry. Oh, seriously, it helps. No, seriously, you're right. It does help, right? Sometimes you just have to get all of that emotion out. Turn off the phone. Let's see. Oh yeah, a brain dump too. That's a fantastic idea. When you're really overwhelmed and your list is so long and your head is so full, grab a piece of paper, a brain dump, everything goes on it. If it's in here, it's going there. And it's so freeing. Let's see. Remember not to stress over what's not in your control. Yep. Yep. Vent to my close friends. Crafting. Yes. I need to learn. Y'all need to learn to say no. It helps immensely. Yes. All right. So if you have struggle saying no, if you think that you have to take everything on, which you most certainly don't, right? If you try to do everything, you won't do anything well. So you have to choose what's important to you. I'm going to challenge you, if that is a struggle for you, to stand in front of your bathroom mirror this week, tell yourself no 10 times every day. No, gosh, thanks for asking, but no, I can't. No, I really can't do that. You don't even have to give them an excuse or a reason why. Nobody needs that. But if you can kindly say, gosh, that was really nice of you to ask, but unfortunately I can't. I paint. Grab your closest soft item and hug it. Yep. I sit on my back porch and listen to the quiet. Yeah. So my goal for you this week is I want you to identify one thing that's really causing you stress. And then I want you to work out a plan to reduce that stress. If it's time management, what can you take off your plate? If there's a project that is really stressing you out, I'm going to challenge you to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, do it. Mel Robbins style, sit down and do it. If it's something anticipatory, I want you to sit down and think about, can I control this? Is there anything that working through it right now will change? And if not, you just are going to need to work on those coping skills, because worrying about what you're going to wear to Cabo in January, or who's going to watch your kids, or whatever the situation may be, isn't going to change anything between now and then, right? So I'm challenging you, identify one major stressor and work on it this week, okay? I would also love for you to continue to share this week in the group pages some of your stress coping strategies as well. The books that I mentioned Mel Robbins, the 5-second rule, Mel Robbins, the High 5 habit, Brian Tracy, I think it's Eat That Frog. I can't remember if it's Eat That. Yep, Eat That Frog. I think those are the only 3 I mentioned tonight. So everyone's going to take a deep breath in, a deep breath out, and we are going to move on to the rest of our week. Tomorrow we have Taco Tuesday or Work It Wednesday at 8 o'clock. There's no book club this week because we finished our book. We are starting Believe It on November 3rd, right? Let me double check that date. November 3rd, yes? Yes. Let's see. Yes, November
Yes.
3rd. So,
I found a joke.
oh, you did? I want to hear your joke. Everyone needs a laugh.
Okay. Why did the scarecrow win an award?
Why?
Because he was outstanding in his field.
All right, we'll work on the jokes, you guys. That was actually pretty good. Good job there.
You're welcome. I'm here all night.
Is your tip jar out?
Yep.